guys, we are back with another video. Before we get into the video, like, comment, and subscribe to the channel, okay? So everybody is begging for Young Money to be able to do the Super Bowl. Didn't Champagne Thickum say that he turned it down many times before? So I don't really think he should be eligible to perform, only because if you turned it down multiple times in the past, you should not be eligible to perform in the future. I feel like that should be a rule. No shade. Because he was offered to headline it completely by himself. He turned it down. Now, the reason why he allegedly turned it down was because of how much work goes into performing at the Super Bowl. You got to spend months and months rehearsing. And that's not something Champagne Thickums want to do. Okay? It had nothing to do with money or anything like that, because you make money, a lot more money, after the Super Bowl, especially if you go on tour like Usher and Kung Fu Kenny did. But it's because of the amount of time and effort it takes to do a Super Bowl show. So that's why. But as for, will Young Money get the opportunity? Well, for what I've been hearing, Camel Face, even though he did not promise Wayne the Super Bowl for New Orleans, that was fan made, that he would consider Wayne doing it in the future if he has a hot album, okay, or hot single to give the anticipation, okay, especially for the fans. We gonna go over, Kung Fu Kenny's viewership, but viewership is very important. So to build up, anticipation, he's gonna need a hot single, a hot tour, a hot something. Rihanna, she's a pop star, and people were anticipating her album. Okay, and she released, the Black Panther singles, but then she got knocked up. Usher, he had one of the hottest Vegas tours in years. Everybody was going to Vegas to see Usher. That's why he was able to perform. And then obviously we know that Kung Fu Kenny annihilating Champagne Thickums really helped him get the Super Bowl, if we're being completely honest. But Camel Face would only allow Nicki and Champagne Thickums to perform with Wayne if they have a meeting with him. Okay, because he does choose who performs at the Super Bowl. Same thing with the Scammies. If they want the Scammies to start respecting them, not that they really need it because they're icons, but if they want the Scammies to start respecting them and giving them nominations again, they're going to have to take a meeting with Camel Face and the board at the Scammies committee. But Champagne Thickums basically boycotts anyway. Okay, Nicki, hopefully she'll boycott, because in the past she has not. Okay, now there has been a rumor about the new big three in the industry. People are saying the new big three is Doja, SZA, and Kung Fu Kenny. Now, obviously, Kung Fu Kenny and SZA just performed at the Super Bowl, and they all won Scammies this year. And Kung Fu Kenny took home 5. To me, the big three got to be rappers, though. Like J. Cole said in First Person Shooter that the big three was him, Champagne Thickums, and Kung Fu Kenny. I feel like we got to keep that same type of tradition, and it got to be rappers. And Nicki said in Barbie Tings that the big three was her, Wayne, and Champagne Thickums, okay? But Kung Fu Kenny said there was no big three, it was just Big Him. But the reason why the industry is pushing for the big three, for Kung Fu Kenny, SZA, and Doja, they're not my big three, but that's what the industry is pushing for, is because of how successful TDE has been in the last few years. Okay, in the last few years, they've been dominating. Not just with, SZA, Kung Fu Kenny, and Doja, but also with Schoolboy Q. Schoolboy Q put out one of the best albums last year for 2024 for best rap albums. Ray Vaughn has been making a lot of noise. He's a rapper. And then there's an R&B singer, Alameda, who's been making a lot of noise. So that's why they're pushing for TDE to have the big three, because of how successful they've been in the last few years. But they're not really my big three. I love Kung Fu Kenny and SZA and Doechii, but they're not my big three at all. Now, moving on to Cardi B. Cardi B, Tooted Up, is flopping on the charts. It only did 305 streams. Unfortunately, its first official day on Payola, and allegedly it may not chart. Titanic is worried that Cardi B is losing fans, that the fans are not supporting her like they used to. Even though we all know that Cardi B got bots in Payola, but there was a time where the general public used to support Cardi B. Now it feels like they paid her dust. But the problem is Cardi B is really her own demise. She didn't really elevate or evolve as an artist. That's one. Number two, she allowed all the untalented female rappers to come and replace her. I mean, why would anybody want to listen to Cardi B when they can listen to Gorilla Glue and Sexy Red? Let's be very clear. Gorilla Glue and Sexy Red have been putting out bops after bops. And then on top of that, they don't have much talent, just like Cardi B. Okay? Even Gorilla Glue, I don't think she's all that talented. I think that Gorilla Glue, she has a deep voice and she panders to men. Okay? Even when they ask her certain questions about going 50-50, or paying for men when it comes to dates or anything like that, she panders to them. So they like her, they back her. And then we got very much talented female rappers like Doechii and Doja Cat, who are also dominating. So, I mean, there's really no use for Cardi B. Cardi B is useless in the industry right now. Now, moving on to Doja Cat. Doja Cat's The Town Is Dead has reached 1.3 billion streams on Payola. It's her fifth song to achieve this and the first for a female rap song this decade. So congratulations to Doja Cat. I still don't really like this song, even though it came out like 2 years ago. I never got on that wave of The Town Is Dead wave. I never cared for that song. I didn't care how much, Payola it got, how much radio spins it got. I just really don't care for the record. Now, moving on from that, Queen B is selling out. Queen B has sold out her shows in Atlanta, and there were 73,000 fans in the waiting room for Queen B's tickets in Paris 1 minute before pre-sales opened. And allegedly, Queen B is finna sell out all of her shows overseas and in America. Okay? So all the people who were saying, oh, Cowboy Carter is trash, it must not be that trash, because y'all finna buy tickets and have Queen B sell out and easily make over $100 million on like this 20 show tour. She's not even doing a lot of shows and she's feeling gross over $100 million. So congratulations to the Queen B. Okay. Now let me know in the comments if y'all going to see Queen B. I am not going to see Queen B. I love Queen B, but I'm not going to see her. I actually decided I'm going to go see The Weeknd. Okay. First I wasn't going to go see The Weeknd, but I decided I'm going to go see The Weeknd instead of Queen B, only because I didn't care for Cowboy Carter. The Weeknd put out a good album, so I'm going to support who put out the better album, in my opinion. Now, Champagne Thickums posted his art cover for his collaboration album with Party Next Door. Okay. And I'll be honest with you, this art cover low-key is kind of hard. Okay, I like the art cover. I'm not going front. I can't give Champagne Thickums his 10s, but I can give him his 7s or 6s. That's how I would rate the album, though. I give it a 7 or 8. It's not the best album art cover, but it's probably one of his best in the last few years. Okay, but I notice he won't show his face now. Now he gotta hide his face in his art covers because people are calling him the P word. So he probably did that strategically, like, I'm not going to show my face. But in a lot of his art covers, he don't really put his face in them like that anymore. I remember he had the emoji art cover, which was trash. then he had this ugly girl on his art cover. And so I noticed that recently he has stopped doing that. He doesn't really put his face in the art covers anymore. Maybe because of his nose job. Maybe it was because of the nose job, or maybe because of his fake abs. But whatever he's doing, right now, currently for the art cover, he should stick with it. Because this art cover low-key kind of fire. Now, he also clapped back at Serena Williams. He posted a picture on his secret Instagram called Plot Twist. He posted a picture of him and Serena Williams' agent, okay, when she was actively playing tennis. I think she retired, but when she had her tennis agent, this was in 2015 allegedly, he had his hand around Serena Williams' agent, and this was at one of her tennis games. Now, I'm not shocked that he has responded. Champagne Thickums is no stranger to subliminally dissing women. And I would not also be shocked if he dissed her in his rap album that he's working on. He's working on a rap album. It could drop this year or next year. But expect for Serena, SZA, Queen B, Rihanna to get some shots thrown at them. Oh, and the Charm Says Racist, okay? I heard he got a bar for the Charm Says Racist because they was tap dancing and crip walking to Not Like Us. And, no shade. He has worked with a few of them. He worked with Queen B. He has worked with Rihanna, slept with Rihanna, slept with Serena Williams. So he will be throwing some shade because of them basically siding with Kung Fu Kenny. Now, speaking of Kung Fu Kenny's Super Bowl halftime show has broken the most watched halftime in history, beating out Michael Jackson. It was reported that he actually did 133.5 million views for his halftime performance, okay? So these numbers have been reported. And I believe Michael Jackson did 133.4. Okay, so he only beat him by a little bit. Obviously, we know that King Michael is clearly the king of pop and a way better performer. But for the male rappers, Kung Fu Kenny is number one. When it comes to performing, Kung Fu Kenny is clearly number one, and it shows in the numbers. Now, I reported yesterday that it was actually 131, but I guess it wasn't 131, it was 133. So congratulations to Kung Fu Kenny, and I'm honestly shocked. I thought it was going to be way less, to be quite honest. I'm honestly shocked that it did this many views. It must have been a lot of people that really hate Champagne Thickums and really wanted Kung Fu Kenny to perform Not Like Us. I hope that wasn't y'all hating and watching him perform Not Like Us on the TV screen, because I was going to support Kung Fu Kenny regardless. Okay, I've always said Kung Fu Kenny was the king of rap even before the Not Like Us rap group came out. And I didn't even give him a 10 for his performance. But I guess Champagne Thickums got a lot more haters than he thought. Now, with that being said, Kung Fu Kenny's Not Like Us is aiming to return at number one. I guess his song Luther featuring SZA and Not Like Us will be competing for the number one spot on the Hot 100. Damn! Goodness gracious, y'all really streaming it to go back number one? I think Luther should go number one, though. I'm gonna be honest with you. I like Luther. I feel like that song is gonna be a classic, timeless record. Now, Not Like Us is gonna be a classic diss record, but I feel like it's about to be Valentine's Day. We need to put more love in the world. I think Luther is the song that should go number one next week. I'm sorry. And then on top of that, GNX is supposed to be number one on the album 200 chart. And I believe Damn, Good Kid, Mad City are gearing up to sell 30K due to the Super Bowl. So congratulations to Kung Fu Kenny. Even Usher put out a new album and he didn't do 230 after the Super Bowl. Usher dropped a new album the day of the Super Bowl, and he didn't even do 230. I think he did like 80K. So this just proves that Kung Fu Kenny is indeed the king of rap. Now, Serena is sending a message to the people that are upset about her crip walking at the Super Bowl. She said when Kung Fu Kenny and his team called, they was like, we've been trying to do something forever. What about this? We love your crip walk at the Olympics and after you won the gold medal. I'm like, the Super Bowl? Are you serious? When in the world would I ever be able to dance at the Super Bowl? Never. Let's do it. I knew my winning dance after the Olympics would pay off one day. Okay? So basically, she's saying that they loved her crip walk when she was doing it at the Olympics many years ago. But I really think Kung Fu Kenny and his team asked her to do it just to get they lick back at Champagne Thickums. I think that's the main reason why. I don't think it had anything to do with the Olympics. They can't fool me. Okay? Nice try though. Cardi B might be putting out a collaboration with Tyla. So the producer, Jay White, did it. I think he has produced for Megan and Iggy in the past. He said, looks like a hit in the making, when there was a picture of Cardi B and Tyla circulating around, the internet, especially on X, because Tyla was at Cardi B's Super Bowl party. Okay? So allegedly they got a hit coming. Let me know how y'all feel about that. Are you guys here for it? Are you guys not here for it? I'm a pass. No shade to Tyla, but Tyla needs to work with like a Riri. She needs to work with like a Rema. Working with Cardi B, the least talented. Well, no, she's not the least talented. We got Sweetie, the second least talented female rapper in the game. Just doesn't make any sense. Okay. Now there's a rumor that Purdue Chicken will be doing the Super Bowl in 2026. Okay. I'll pass on that. Mílëy has a lot of hits, but I just really don't get into her like that. I'm be honest with you. I don't really care for Purdue Chicken. I don't want her to perform at the Super Bowl. I'd rather Y0UNGM0NEY. I'd rather Doja Cat. I'd rather Ariana Grande, even though I know she don't want to do music anymore. That's the thing. But I would rather see Queen Ari do it than Purdue Chicken. Okay? But I think she's like the only mainstream pop star that could really do it. Sabrina, she only got one hot album. She was a flop before 2024. I would only be here for Purdue Chicken if she bring out Y0UNGM0NEY. If not, she can stay at home. I really am not a huge fan of her music, but I do understand that she does have classics. But anyway, let me know how y'all feel about it. Who do you feel like should perform next year at the halftime Super Bowl? Like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. I got some hot tea on Patreon, especially on Clownye and his no good thotty ass wife. Link will be in description, and have a great day.